Our two stories today are about people who believed in something so strongly that it controlled every decision they made. And unfortunately, those beliefs led them somewhere very dangerous. The Curse of Akakor. In November of 1980, a 28-year-old man named John Reed sat across from a mysterious figure in a remote village deep in the Amazon. The man in front of him claimed to be the chief of a hidden civilization, a place called Akakor, a lost city, hidden underground, untouched for thousands of years. Most people believed it was a myth, a story, something made up to sell books. But John didn't believe that. Not anymore, because sitting right in front of him was the only man who claimed he had actually been there. His name was Tatunka. John had traveled all the way from California for this moment. He believed this journey would change his life forever. Maybe the last place he ever lived, because John didn't just want to find Akakor, he wanted to stay there for days. He begged Tatunka to show him the way. But every time, Tatunka refused, until one day, something changed. John asked again. Same question, same desperation. And this time, Tatunka didn't answer right away. He just sat there, quiet, very quiet, like he was thinking, deciding something. And then, finally, he began to speak. After that day, John Reed was never seen again. Almost 9 years later, his sister Sandy received a letter. It was from a German detective. The letter said they believed her brother hadn't just disappeared. He may have been murdered. For years, Sandy and her family believed John had chosen a new life in the jungle, that he had found what he was looking for, and simply never came back. But now, everything changed. So Sandy made a decision. She would go to Brazil herself and find the truth. When she arrived, she started asking questions, talking to locals, but something felt off. Every time she mentioned Akakor, people got nervous. Some refused to speak. Others warned her to stop asking. A few even said people who searched for it never came back. Then, she heard a name, Tatunka, the same man John had met before he vanished. A year later, Sandy returned. This time, she went straight to him. When she finally saw him, standing there, waiting, she felt it immediately. Something wasn't right, because the truth was, Tatunka was not a chief. He wasn't even from the Amazon. His real name was Gunther Hock, a German man who had made the entire story up. The lost city, the hidden civilization, Akakor, all of it was a lie. He had created the story to hide his past. But the lie got out of control. Tourists started coming, explorers, believers, all wanting to find the city, all wanting proof, and according to investigators, anyone who insisted on actually going to Akakor disappeared, including Sandy's brother. Gunther denied everything. He was never charged, and John Reed's body was never found. But even today, people still travel into the Amazon, searching for a city that may have never existed. The parable on a freezing night. In 1994, a man named Dwight Finley was driving through the mountains of Oregon. It was late, the road was narrow, and a heavy snowstorm was getting worse. The road turned to ice, and suddenly his truck lost control. It spun, slid, and then slammed into a snowbank just inches from a deadly cliff. For a moment, everything went silent. Then slowly, Dwight realized something. He was alive. No injuries, nothing broken. To him, it felt like a miracle, like God had just saved his life. But when he tried to drive away, the truck wouldn't move. The tires spun. He was stuck alone in the middle of nowhere. No phone, no radio, no food. But Dwight didn't panic, because he believed something. If God saved him once, he would save him again. So he stayed, inside the truck, waiting. Days passed, then weeks. He melted snow for water, used the heater carefully, and spent his time writing letters to his family, to his fiancée, to his sons. In those letters, he didn't sound afraid. He sounded calm, peaceful, certain that he would be rescued. But he never was, because just outside his truck, hidden beneath the snow, was a clear path, a road that could have led him to safety, but he never saw it. Months later, a teenager crashed on the same road. While checking his surroundings, he noticed something. Another truck, half buried in snow. He walked closer, cleared the window, and looked inside. Then he froze. Dwight was dead. He had waited for a miracle that never came. Both of these stories are different, but they share one thing: belief. Because sometimes what we believe can guide us, and sometimes it can blind us, and in these cases, it did both.